Welcome to this exciting episode where we clean the mould and pop out our first panel. First, let's look at the mould. I'm about to start cleaning the mould up here, so I've split it into two halves. That's one half, that's the other. That's the headlight that end, that's the front wing that end. This big, flat, nice piece is the flange which bolts onto that big, flat, nice piece. This piece is really weird. It sort of ripples and bulges as original metal, so need to have a think about that one. Some of the problems we're having: bits like this, bits like this, bits like this, where it just needs sanding smooth. And this is the mould after I've gone over with some 800 and 1200 wet and dry with some washing up liquid to get it clean. So this lot's not too bad, and it does highlight where I need to do things. This area, right along there. But at least now I can see what I'm working with. So I guess it's better work. After a lot of sanding, the first half of the mould is now sitting in the garden drying in the sunshine. So I come down this morning all ready to wash my moulds, get them all nice and clean, and yeah, more ice. All the cleaning and sanding revealed some faults in the gel coat, so there are like bubbles underneath or just big dents. Use a Dremel to rough these out, then another layer of gel coat over the top to let them be filled and sanded smooth. Just getting ready to mix up the gel coat. Because this is going to be exposed to the oxygen, there's nothing, it's not against the mould or anything, it won't set unless I add wax additive. I know this slips out of sequence, but it's good advice, so watch it. It's a sunny Sunday, late afternoon. I've spent an entire sodden day sanding, polishing, all of this lot. I've used every grit known to man. Here it is after 2 coats of wax. Miracle Gloss has done a miracle and put a gloss on it. Hey, I've escaped the garage today and come to a car resto show. Fed up with polishing. But I met a nice man who's told me all about machine polishing. Kieran's going to tell me why I need a, whatever this thing is.
Basically, it's a machine polisher, dual action machine polisher. The kit comes with everything that you possibly need to start off yourself.
All that stuff.
We basically have compounds, we have pads, clay bars and lubes all in one, including the machine polisher as well itself.
Great advert, thank you. Do I get a discount?
Unfortunately not, sir, no, because the price is already discounted.
Sunday morning, and I need to lay the carbon fibre into this mould. I'm going to make sure there's no puckers in the corners. I've got to make sure that the direction of the weave is all consistent and correct, lines up with the front of the car. I've got to make sure that it'll match everything else without just doing any distortion into the cloth. So first of all, I'm going to make a template out of peel ply. The thing about it is it's got straight lines on it, so I can cut straight and I can see how it lines up. Well, that's the flat cloth just laid in there. It's not actually too bad. After much humming and ahhing and sucking of teeth, I'm putting a little pleat there, so that's one little cut there, and I'm putting that up that line there. So there's the template transferred to carbon. I did spray it with the epoxy clear beforehand, so it hasn't frayed too much, and hopefully there's not too much distortion in the weave. So there's the 200 GSM fitted. That is obviously some reinforcement for the top of the wing. Hopefully that'll stop it flexing that way. I don't think it needs it down there, but I'm about to put in another load of 650 GSM carbon. Here's the peel ply fitted. Those few creases not a problem, they'll flatten out, but the point is it covers all the carbon fibre. Hey, guess what? Another layer in this. So now we've got the mesh on top. What's left on this? 200, the hex is reinforcement, 650, peel ply, mesh. Right, looks like time for a break. And after a little light relief, I'm back in the building. Okay, so I've got the spiral tube fitted along there, around there, down this side. It should mean we can fill this reasonably well. I've got inlet ports because sticking it in both holes in the same section should, well, it's more fun for a start. Anyway, so no, it should get the resin to flow through at enough rate, and I'll have the vacuum here sucking it out.
Here, see me sat on the floor trying to make a vacuum bag. I spent ages on this, get it beautifully sealed, then go on and try to drop test it and all the stuff you have to do for infusion. Stupid mistake. You know, I've got a split mould. Well, that split seam is not airtight. So it doesn't matter how much I seal this top half, that whole thing is never going to work for resin infusion. Air will seep through that split mould piece. Tried to be clever and use some tire sealant to seal it, but from seeing the results, yeah. That's all my plans for resin infusion out the window. It's going to be a wet layup. All I need now is a fresh bit of carbon fibre with a cosmetic layer to hide the pink gloop.
How fucking annoying is that? Right, it's Mother's Day here in the UK, so I've got to start really 6 o'clock. Get this out of the way before the family come around for a barbecue. We have our new roll carbon fibre. Roll it out, fusion fix it to secure the weave, then we go on to the mould. That, I'm going to give it another coat of CR release agent to hopefully release it. Can't do the infusion as I wanted to, so I'm going to laminate it. So, new roll, cosmetic layer, beautiful. Then I've got that sheet there, and that sheet there, which was last week's cosmetic layer on the fucked up thing. 200, 200, 600. Hopefully that'll be enough for the wing. So I'm going to do that wing without the reinforcement.
So here I go with the wet layup. I'm actually using infusion resin for this first bit. See if it makes a difference to the surface. No idea. Anyway, yeah, just normal wet layup. Resin, fibre, blah, blah, blah. I actually stick a vacuum bag over the top of it. I'm not going to be vacuum bagging, I'm not doing resin infusion. But the idea is that this should help press the carbon fibre into the mould. I don't want to vacuum on for too long, otherwise it'll start sucking up bubbles through the gap on the split mould, which just causes all this fun and games. Anyway, wet layup, nothing clever there. With it all set hard, you can see just how much resin I wasted with this wet layup method. Anyway, let's just pop it from the mould. Undo the bolts of the split mould, stick some wedges in behind the carbon fibre. Don't forget to tap some in to split the mould itself, and then tap, tap, tap.
After much tapping of wedges and pulling of fibre, we put half the mould off. Hopefully the other half should come out better. All that is the gloop that I tried to pump in when I was trying to seal it before I discovered that was actually cocking up the mould. But let's put the other half out and see what it looks like. So we reached the next major milestone. I have a body panel out in carbon. Needs a lot of cleaning up and obviously fitting, but that I'm actually quite happy with. So there we have it. The first front wing in carbon fibre. It's a little bit rough, but that'll stand out. That wing does tuck in, but I've got to tighten that corner up. I'm going to do the mould to the other wing, put the other wing on, and then I'll do the finessing on both at the same time. So next episode you should see me knock that mould up, probably take the get that to the same state as that one, and might even start doing some finishing touches on it. Anyway, like, subscribe, and you can see that wing look like that wing, but better. Cheers guys.